Imagine a world where one company, one single tech superpower, controlled your entire internet experience. Every website you visited, every video you watched, every piece of information you consumed, all funneled through their gates. Sounds like a dystopian nightmare, right? But for a terrifying period, that was the reality almost everyone faced, and a small, audacious team of idealists fought tooth and nail to prevent it from becoming our permanent digital prison. How did a plucky underdog, born from the ashes of obsolescence, manage to stand against the might of not one, but two tech titans? To truly grasp the gravity of Mozilla's struggle and the significance of their survival, we need to rewind to the dawn of the public internet. The early 90s were a wild frontier, and one name reigned supreme: Netscape Navigator. It was the undisputed king, a sleek, revolutionary piece of software that democratized the World Wide Web for millions. Netscape was innovative, fast, and constantly pushing the boundaries of what a browser could do. It held over 90% of the market share, a seemingly unassailable lead. They were the trailblazers, the pioneers, the very definition of internet success. But their reign, as history soon revealed, was tragically short-lived. A behemoth was stirring, a company with unimaginable resources and an iron grip on the operating system market: Microsoft. Seeing the internet's undeniable potential, Microsoft decided they wanted a piece of the pie. And they didn't just want a piece, they wanted the whole damn bakery. Their weapon? Internet Explorer. Microsoft integrated IE directly into Windows, bundling it for free, making it practically impossible for new PC users to avoid. This wasn't just competition, it was an economic siege. Netscape, despite its brilliance and user loyalty, found itself rapidly losing ground, suffocated by the sheer power of an operating system monopoly. The first browser war was brutal, swift, and seemingly decisive. By the late 90s, Netscape was dying, its market share plummeting from dominance to single digits. It was a dark time for anyone who believed in an open and competitive internet. The future looked bleak, dominated by a single, monolithic gatekeeper. But from these ashes, an unexpected seed of defiance was planted. In a desperate last-ditch effort to survive, and perhaps, more importantly, to keep the spirit of the open web alive, Netscape did something unprecedented. They open-sourced their entire browser code base. They released it to the world, free for anyone to use, modify, and improve. This radical act was the genesis of the Mozilla project. It was a gamble, a Hail Mary pass in the dying seconds of the game. For a few years, it felt like the gamble might not pay off. The early Mozilla browser, sometimes referred to as Mozilla Suite, was clunky, resource-intensive, and frankly, not very good. It struggled to gain traction. Internet Explorer's dominance seemed absolute, hovering around 95% market share. It was a dark, monopolistic age for web browsing. The idea of an alternative seemed quaint, a relic of a bygone era. Developers and enthusiasts, however, clung to the vision of an open web, chipping away at the unwieldy code. They toiled, driven not by profit, but by principle. And then, a pivotal decision was made. The Mozilla team decided to scrap everything, to start almost entirely from scratch, focusing on a leaner, faster, more modular browser experience. This bold move, born from frustration and unwavering idealism, led to the development of a project codenamed Phoenix, then Firebird, and finally the name that would etch itself into internet history: Firefox. It was a daring bet on user experience, performance, and a renewed commitment to open standards. They envisioned a browser that was not just an alternative, but a superior one, built by and for the people who used the internet every day. Firefox launched in 2004, and almost immediately it started turning heads. It was incredibly fast, far snappier than the aging, bloated Internet Explorer 6. But speed wasn't its only secret weapon. Firefox brought revolutionary features to the mainstream: tabbed browsing, which transformed how people navigated multiple websites; a built-in pop-up blocker, a godsend in an era plagued by intrusive ads; and perhaps most crucially, an extensive add-on ecosystem that allowed users to customize their browsing experience like never before. It was empowering. It resonated deeply with users tired of Microsoft's stagnation and perceived indifference. Tech enthusiasts, early adopters, and disillusioned IE users started flocking to Firefox. Its market share began a steady, inexorable climb. This wasn't just a new browser, it was a movement. The second browser war had officially begun, and this time the challenger wasn't a company, but a community. Mozilla, a non-profit foundation fueled by volunteers and a small, dedicated staff, was successfully taking on the world's largest software company. Microsoft, initially dismissive, started to take notice. They belatedly released Internet Explorer 7 and 8, attempting to ape some of Firefox's features, but they were playing catch-up. Firefox continued to innovate, introducing private browsing, vastly improved developer tools, and an unwavering commitment to web standards. For a glorious period, Firefox reigned supreme as the champion of the open web, hitting peak market shares around 30% to 40% in the late 2000s. But the internet, ever evolving, had another surprise in store. A new player, another tech giant, was preparing to enter the fray: Google. In 2008, Google launched Chrome, a browser built on the lightning-fast WebKit engine with a minimalist interface and Google's seemingly infinite resources behind it. Chrome was incredibly fast and lightweight. It incorporated many of the lessons learned from Firefox, refining the user experience even further. The browser wars had entered a new, multi-front stage, and the fight for digital freedom was about to become infinitely more complex. Suddenly, Firefox, the former underdog, found itself battling not just a lumbering giant, but also a new, agile, and aggressively marketed competitor. The battle for the internet's soul was far from over. Today, Chrome dominates the browser landscape, holding a commanding lead. Firefox, while still a significant player, has seen its market share recede. So, did Mozilla lose? Absolutely not. While they may not be the market leader, their victory isn't measured in market share alone. Mozilla's greatest triumph lies in the very existence of a diverse, competitive browser ecosystem. Their open-source gamble, their unwavering commitment to web standards and user choice, forced both Microsoft and Google to innovate. Without Firefox, the internet might still be shackled by a single, stagnant browser, with all the security vulnerabilities, lack of innovation, and closed platform thinking that entails. We owe Firefox for popularizing essential features like tabbed browsing, pop-up blocking, and extensions, which are now ubiquitous. We owe them for constantly pushing privacy and user control to the forefront, challenging the data-hungry models of their competitors. Mozilla continues its mission today, advocating for privacy, fighting for an open internet, and developing new tools that empower users. They are a constant reminder that the internet belongs to everyone, not just a few corporations. To this day, the fight for a truly free and open web is eternal. If you want to dive deeper into the hidden battles that shape our digital lives, my next video explores the secret algorithms that dictate what you see online and how they're quietly reshaping our reality. Stay curious and keep questioning.